Hello and welcome to my RTSL game versus Albert Malafronte, who I will be facing as the USSR and hopefully... Oh yeah, and we're playing a 45 minutes per player game in Truman division, so thanks to that fact we are sure that this game will not actually last 2 hours, which is probably good for the sanity of us both. And this hand is pretty decent. I think purchase an obvious enough headline, so I will go for it without further ado, and annoyingly Middle East is already gone. Yeah, so there's still not much to be done except quit Iran, so I will go for it immediately. Since even when Middle East is scored, it's still worth kicking him out from Iran to deny him access to Pakistan and India in Asia. And he goes for second cover influence. Makes sense. So now the question is, do I try Queen Malaysia in attempt to get access to Thailand? Or do I just ignore what's going on? I probably want to space, so I could go to space now, or I could boost Iran and enter South Korea. So those are my three options. I don't think I will be queen Malaysia. I think that's pretty risky because I don't want to be in a position where I just skip a turn like that. So I will boost Iran and I will enter South Korea and I will do it with Fidel. I'm of course playing Himthorpe's since CIA is unaccounted for, so I don't want to enter Cuba yet. Suez Crisis, alright. That's pretty good. That means that he's not going to dominate Europe quickly and he's not going to enter Egypt quickly. Let's say surprisingly favorable towards me. Influence. He boosts Malaysia and goes back to Israel. Alright, so that doesn't require reaction. I guess I will just space Marshall then. I think I think I would rather give him Norad than Marshall, especially after he broke his UK control. So let's do that. And the goal goes to space. Interesting. Huh, but that's actually curious. So he still doesn't have mid-ops, and he just got rid of both of my France events. So I guess I could just break with Germany, using the fact that he's under purge, and try to poke him a little bit there. Since I'm not going to get my France access the usual way, which is by the goal, I may just as well break through with force. Of course, Truman is still somewhere in the deck, so I can't really overcommit to any of the battlegrounds in Europe, but the new presence in France is good enough, especially if I get Algeria thanks to it. So far, Purge is proving to be a very useful headline for me, because I suppose that both Suez Crisis and the goal would have been played pretty efficiently for ops by him if he wasn't purged. But thanks to the purge, it's not as simple as that. Okay, so we know now that he doesn't have any scorings. I will just enter France with defectors and see if we can grab France with containment. Okay, he gives me Nasser right away, and he coups. Yuck, and he succeeds. Alright, so that means that Pakistan is now a relatively free one. Okay, so I think now I will simply do something like that. Now, if he cuts me out of Iran, I don't lose access to Pakistan. But if he plays IP war and wins it, he still doesn't get control of Pakistan, since I put only one over, and I got to capture France, so my situation in Europe looks pretty solid. I may even fight for domination, especially after Marshall is gone. All the two stability non-battlegrounds are pretty much fair game now, and he doesn't have the advantage in form of UK. Sir Suez was played, so I think I may fight for domination in Europe. Okay, he just broke France. Let's set up a domination right away. That's the worst hand I have ever seen. It contains literally all the one-ups in the game, except the only one-up I actually wanted to get, which is of course Truman. So it's a pretty terrible one. It doesn't contain any good headlines, so I guess I could go for Asia. It looks safe. Romanian is also an option, of course. Can Asia get worse? With this hand it's not gonna get better, and it can't really get worse in the headline phase. So I will get rid of it right away. Getting 1 point from it is good enough. Okay. He headlined independent threats. That of course doesn't necessarily mean that he doesn't have Truman. That may also mean that he has Truman but was scared of socialists. Or Gestahl. Well, if so. Anyway, I'm probably gonna do something like that, because I really need to take France and a non-battleground. I don't want to stop at just taking France, because then he's just going to drop Europe for, not for free, but for a 2 VPs, which is not satisfying me. Of course, now Pakistan is a very vulnerable coup target because Defcon is at 4, and if he coups me out of there and gets a control of this country, then he gets to take India as well. But I'm counting on I'm really hoping that he doesn't have Indo-Pakistan war, and if he doesn't have Indo-Pakistan war, then obviously it's a risky maneuver for him, and also due to the fact that I dropped Asia scoring in the headline phase, it's it's still gonna hurt, but it's not gonna be as big of a deal in the short term. Mm, of course, I could place. Okay, interesting. Of course, I could play the CIA with UN, but I really need dogs. I really need dogs. And I want to get rid of the CIA anyway, so I will just use CIA now and possibly use UN to play NORAD or something like that. That looks like a plan. And now if he wants to, he has basically... So now if he doesn't coup Pakistan or Iran, now I can secure Pakistan by just quitting Panama, which is reasonable. But Lebanon is also a pretty juicy target, especially when you look at the fact that crewing Panama with CAA gives a decent result only on 5 and 6. And in Lebanon, 2 is enough to kick him out, 3 is enough to take control of the country myself. So there's a case to be made that Lebanon is better, but I think I will just go for Panama because I don't have IP war, and now he actually knows that I don't have IP war. So even if he doesn't have it, he knows that Pakistan is free. That's a very bad play by him, I think. He should have went for Pakistan like every time. And now I don't even have to coup to guard anything. Now I can either coup Lebanon or I can just do that. And then the Pakistani war doesn't throw me out. I think I will go for this. This is a safer play than going Lebanon. However, I don't have mirrors. If I coup Lebanon and succeed, and he immediately responds with IP war in Pakistan, if he fails that war, that's very bad for him. Because then he loses. But if he wins that war, that's very good for him. So I guess I will just not risk it. I will enter India immediately so that IP war doesn't kick me out of the region. Nuclear test ban. Alright. That's probably a good moment to take Turkey. And overprotect France, I guess. Of course, there are lots of holes to fill in Asia and Middle East, but we have to remember that Europe is the only unscored early war region, so I think the most responsible thing to do now is to overprotect France, even though socialists are somewhere in the deck. And like, he knows how strong, or rather how weak my hand is, so because of the CIA, so he knows that he can allow himself to try poking holes in France, for example, and with hopes of getting Truman. So I'm just not gonna allow that, it's only one up. I would still like to coup. I still have no melops. Arab-Israeli War and Korean War are both somewhere out there, so there is a chance that he will be somewhat forced to give one of those to me. Because Japan is never for, that's pretty annoying. But that itself doesn't give him anything. So what do I go with? Probably capture Nazis, since now I'm already in space, I don't really care about going further immediately. And I want to even blockade and Romanian if possible. Unfortunately that's a 1, so that doesn't give me anything. If he takes Canada, then I can still equalize. I mean, I can still regain domination easily by even Romanian. So him going for Canada doesn't really bother me that much. And thanks to this fight that happened in Europe, now if I redraw Marshall, it will be almost a free card. So that's good. Spaced Socialists, so that's interesting. That pretty much forces me to even blockade now. Because now there are only 3 cards that he can discard to blockade, which are Distal, 5-year plan, and NATO, and either he has none of those, in which case blockade just kicks him out of West Germany, which is huge for me, or he has one of those, probably Distal, and I absolutely need to get rid of it. And it kind of looks this way, like he's spaced socialists, so knowing that I have blockade, by the way, because I played the CIA earlier, so I'm pretty sure he has Distal, and I need to get it back into the deck before the reshuffle. So even if he approaches Burma, I'm just going to even blockade. Okay, that's a bad play. It's a mistake. Because he should know better. He should know that I'm going to even blockade to get Distal. So entering Burma, entering Jordan, taking Algeria even, breaking North Korea, those are all viable plays. But, well, the facts are that he can still do some mess in my positions, even on his last AR. He can break North Korea, and then he would have both domination to my lack of presence in Middle East and in Asia. So I'm really suffering because of this hand. Like, oh, okay. To be fair, when I said that I got all the 1-ups that I didn't want to get, I actually pretty much wanted to get the UN intervention. Right, it was a good card, but other than that, my ops were terrible. So that's why this region looks like it looks. It's pretty caricatural. Alright, so at least I will have presence. Okay. I will have presence anyway because you're giving it to me by Vietnam results. Okay, what do we have here? Unfortunately, he didn't get Europe scoring before the reshuffle, and neither did I. Fortunately, this time we got the better part of the cards. So he got Europe scoring, Truman, Arab-Israeli War, and Korean War. Unfortunately, my only reasonable headline is decoy here, and I'm just going to go for it. It's is a pretty huge headline for me. If it works, it's really, really, really making it easier for me to play this game. And oh my god. Fuck, dude. Okay, at least we got Deagle. So, oh, suddenly this hand doesn't look good anymore. But it only has Deagle. But I guess I will have to live with it. Mm, Alright, so I guess I will start by Queen Panama. Or I can go for Egypt right away, but maybe I should go for Egypt actually. Because now I have a chance of getting access to Libya before he does. That's a possibility. Not that it matters. I mean, okay, so now actually it matters. 3 is actually the only single roll that made it better to go for Panama. Because if I roll a 4, I get access to Libya anyway, and that's a win for me. But if I roll a 3, then it would have kicked him out of Panama, but it doesn't kick him out. And that means that he can't return there. But kicking him out of Egypt and not putting my ops there, it just doesn't achieve anything because he can just like go back from Israel. So that was actually the nastiest thing I could have rolled. I mean, of course it's better than rolling a 1 or a 2, but it's kind of laughing at my face. Another 4, that's pretty fucking bad. Not that I can do anything. So let's give him special, since he took Canada already. So he redrew 4 cards, 2 of them are Purge and Marshal. Decent, decent. I have to give him special ASAP because I may need ops to react, and my only reasonable ops are NATO. So I need to get rid of special before NATO because I can't even space it or break UK with it because I'm purged, so I can't do anything with that. He shouldn't be, or actually, theoretically he could take Benelux or something like that. But wait, what? Oh yeah, of course he can do that with Truman. I forgot. Do I fight for it? Yeah, that's fine. Like, normally I wouldn't do that under Purge. It's like, it looks like it can't really work. But I know 3 out of his 5 cards, and those are Arab-Israeli War, Korean War, and Europe scoring. And those are not good. Of course, he also has China. Okay, he redrew NORAD as well, so I guess he has more firepower than I expected. But like, I didn't assume he redrew NORAD as well. Like, okay. So I hoped that at least he would be forced to give up the China card, but his redraw was so insane that he actually doesn't need to do any of that. So now he's gonna drop Europe for free. So that means that now I can give him East European unrest for ops, and I need to take care of Middle East and Asia and Algeria, and I don't have any way to do that with the ops I got. So the perfect scenario, like the plan minimum, would be to go to Iran, 1 Pakistan, 2 India, 2 Algeria, 1 Zaire, and like 3 South Korea, but at least 1. So that's like 10 ops. I have 4 available. Mm. I think I don't care about Algeria. I have to get the Middle East. And I... Hmm. Yeah, I have to get the Middle East. So I will start with that. It's tempting to go into South Korea to improve my situation there before he plays South Korean War. If he's going to do that, actually, I don't know that. Mm, but the problem is that the problem is that he doesn't really have to play the Korean War, and I can't really allow myself to waste any ops. So of course that fails. Now I guess I will just block the path for him if he were to approach India, and that's the best I can get. Because now if he enters Burma, he's threatening to take India with a 4 next turn, or at least enter it and threaten Pakistan, and I don't want to have to deal with that. So I will just stay in my lane, grab India, hope to calmly get Pakistan next turn, and maybe I get a better hand than the last two. He has Korean War and he has one more card that I don't know. Huh. It's good that CIA is gone because now the fact that I didn't enter Zaire isn't as punishable. Okay, so he's committed to not playing Korean War. Uh, okay, that's a pretty fucking bad hand. But he has Fidel, so I will go for Fidel. Okay. That's very fucking bad. Oh, so okay, so I was going to say that the fact that I didn't go to Zaire isn't that bad because he would need CIA to like take advantage of that. But I guess he can just draw grain sales, so that doesn't matter. I will use my free up to do that. Now I am forced to play all the cards, unless I want to do something with China, and maybe I do. I can get it back later with cultural. It kind of depends on the space track, I guess, because I'm surely spacing colonials, and I probably could space John Paul. So maybe I will try and see whether it works or not. Hmm. So I actually don't have advantage anywhere. That's terrible. Mm, I and I don't really. Yeah, he takes that. It's not gonna get better. I have no events, so I guess I'm just stuck hoping to get South America access before he does. I don't see a way to move forward. I don't even I don't even have a way to of forcing him to give me meal-ups. I can't even set up a domination in any region, not in Africa, not in Central, not in South. Unless I'm willing to go for like Nicaragua into Costa Rica, into break of Panama, into Colombia, but like let's be realistic. So I'm guessing just sitting here and waiting for any good card. I suspect he will space Korean War, and after he does that, mm, just breaking South Korea with China may be the best option I have left. Because then at least he won't be building up his advantage in other regions. Because I can't do that because I have no access anywhere. So maybe the best I can do is ensuring that he doesn't do it. But look at it. Like right now, even if I took South Korea, it doesn't give me anything. I can't even dominate this region unless I take Afghanistan, but even then he just clips Indonesia. Let's start by, okay, now I roll a 6, so I guess John Paul won't be spaceable this turn. Mm. So the question is, do I, oh my god. Okay, so the question is, do I hold nothing, and then, which means I play John Paul and hold China and play cultural for ops? Or do I play China and event cultural? I may still go for it. I just don't have. Okay, okay. Let's start with Iraq maybe because that's one thing I want to do for sure. So let's have that that out of the way. Okay, he spaces that. So now let's go into South Korea, and if I am able to take South Korea with cultural, then I guess I will just do it. Maybe not going to Zaire was a mistake, but I'm not. Nah, I don't think it was. I don't think it was. I think it was. I think it was fair to play on the chance that he's not actually going to draw grain sales and block India. I think it was a decent play. But that was just bad luck. And to be fair, calling out rear guards were going to be annoying as well. Probably ABM could be problematic as well. But those are still just a couple of cards. Yeah, let's just do that. I can't really achieve anything more, so I will just break the countries. Okay, let's overprotect North Korea because we know he likes breaking it. So let's make it annoying at least. He can still break South Korea and India. Really, but both South Korea and India have their events in the deck, which may flip those countries later on. Okay, that's still a hand completely devoid of good events, but at least it has decent ups, so let's hope that I can use the ups to my advantage. This has literally zero access anywhere, so I'm still stuck in whichever region I occupy now. I still can only sit here and hope that he doesn't have South America access. Arms race is a potentially useful event. Captured Nazis aren't anything spectacular, but if I space John Paul and hit the space track, then it may be useful. 3 4-ups which don't give me anything in particular. It's possible that I will just waste them by breaking something. I'm seriously considering Queen Panama instead of Zaire or Angola, just to have access to Colombia and actually just forcefully enter Colombia and try to get to South America like that, because I really don't see a way of fighting for it otherwise. Okay, so I guess he breaks Pakistan and India, because why would he go for something else? He goes for South Korea? Whoa. Okay, I disagree. Mm, okay. I don't think I'm going for Colombia. I mean for Panama. I think I prefer to just focus on Africa now, since he's not in there. Oh, I don't know, it's complicated. Pakistan, India, South Korea. The best he can do with China is going free Pakistan to South Korea. No, I don't think he's gonna be able to get Asia domination. So I guess I don't care about that. They just coup. I could coup with Sadat, but that doesn't even grant me my quota. So I guess I will go for arms race coup. Or what about something like that? Let's actually do something like this. Let's see how he reacts. So, of course, he can immediately stop my domination in Africa by taking over Nigeria. But the problem is that if he takes Nigeria, then it's immediately reversible for me, because I can just take Zaire. And if he overprotects Zaire, then I can take Nigeria, and he can't overprotect both of them. So if he doesn't have a great event to specifically do that, for example, a brush war in Angola or Algeria or ABM or something like that, then he can't really stop my pursuit of African domination long term. Not by battleground count, at least. He can of course do that by just entering as many non-battlegrounds as it's possible. I wholeheartedly disagree with this play. I don't understand why he did that. And like, from all the places he could have chosen, he chose South Korea, which I can basically flip on 50-50 whenever I redraw Korean War after the reshuffle. I don't think that is a good play. So, and I can like stop that immediately, just retake everything, overprotect Nigeria, and I'm fine. So I will surely take advantage of this mistake, unless I'm not seeing anything. Uh, like I could be missing something. That's what I'm trying to say. But I don't even know what it would be. Of course he has that. Come on! It's disgusting. Yeah. I'm just racing for South Africa then. I am able to do that because if he's still holding this land for some reason, then arms race is still not gonna give him anything, because I have the advantage in Milops. So it's a safe play. Like, to be fair, I got 3 4-ups, so like I guess it's fair that he got brush, but Okay, so I guess I know where all the access went. He just drew all my access and discarded it all at once with Astronaut. I don't know if discarding South America was good for him. I mean, maybe he was scared that I may have some access, but I would imagine that it's pretty visible that I don't. And also, like, he literally redrew distal and INA, so it was pretty clear that I don't have more, especially after my relatively weak headline, which could have been Junta or something like that. I mean, maybe he thought I was scared of Junta being defected, but come on. I think he should have held onto South America scoring, hoping for drawing some access. Let's space jump Paul. Let's see if he has one small step. Fortunately, this time it doesn't matter that much. If he has one small step, I can still use captured Nazis. Bear trap, okay. That was a very weird moment to use bear trap. I don't know why you would do that right on turn 5 and not like on turn 6 or 7 or 1 on the next turn. Actually, round 5 it was a pretty random moment for that. I know I just spaced a blue 2-up, but he gives me that, okay. So it looks like he was pretty unlucky in his redraw from Kennedy. That's a very good information. So the only unscored region now is Asia. I could overprotect Pakistan, but I really want to event this arms race. I'll take it. I think 3 VPs are worth a lot now. Now Kennedy is out of the game and Lone Gunman is on the discard pile, so it may come in handy late or... Okay, Muslim, go. Hitting debate, stuck. Panama Canal, terrible. Oh yes, even worse. Willy Brandt. Thailand. Okay, so... Not a very playable hand. I think I have to go for Muslim Revolution headline, because if I get Missile MB from him, then it's just so bad if I have to give him Muslim. So I will headline Muslim, and if he has Missile MB, I will give him second cover and we take Pakistan, and everything works just fine. Sure. He even got that, okay. Yeah, let's retake that, secure Cuba, enter Israel to... Or actually... Let's go through Tunisia. If he wants to try queuing Tunisia to stop me from taking Libya, he's free to try. Once again, I got 4 1-ups, so... I mean, one of them is held from earlier, but... Okay, I'm fine with that. At least he doesn't pick up anything silly with salt, so that's a good thing for me, I guess. His space is Quagmire. Okay, now one small step steals my space bonus, so I'm gonna event captured Nazis immediately. I have to get my Millops somehow, but queuing right now would make that's bad. Would make Che free for him, so that's annoying. Damn it, I guess I have to space deck. It's pretty bad if I draw Voice of America. But unless I'm just giving up on South America completely. Like there's not much else to do. I'm surely playing Willy Brandt and Kitchen Debates. And I need to play 2 more cards. So right? Yeah. Maybe if I'm giving him Panama Canal OAS isn't that bad anymore. And I can hold on to deck and cover so that it doesn't come back after the reshuffle. It sounds pretty fucking bad, but maybe that's the best I can hope for. Okay, let's start by overprotecting Pakistan, since my hand is tragic and I have no means of fighting any breaks. So I will just secure it for the sake of feeling secure about this Asia scoring. Okay. I'm gonna give him access anyway. So I can start by getting a mill up and setting up a target for Che in form of Costa Rica, which probably won't matter, but maybe it will matter, and at least it gives me another military operation point, which I will accept now, and this way I can use Willy Brandt as an event. We'll probably take Venezuela and Brazil with it, and it doesn't have to care about anything. Oh yeah, I have to confirm that this was my only coup, not like I had a choice. Okay, he goes back. Nah, no shit, I'm giving him deck and cover. I mean OAS now, so I will just discard deck and cover. I'm pretty fine with not succeeding in this role. Okay, he can catch up to me, and now I will event with that. Okay, so the ABM. No, basically ABM is the card. Basically ABM is the card that I'm looking at. Let's see who gets it. Okay, I got Missile Envy, I got Olympic Games, I got ABM, I got Puppet Governments. He got Cuban Missile Crisis, OPEC, Camp David, Defectors, and Voice of America. Furthermore, I got Marshall, I got Pope, I got Special, I got Cambridge. Not a good hand, no good headlines. No, maybe it's not necessarily true. Maybe it has a good headline. Maybe Musclanti is a good headline. It's not that painful if he just grabs it with the vectors. It's acceptable. So I will just go for it and hope to get something, and let's see what he gives me. He could give me Cuban Missile Crisis, but I have Turkey, so that would mean that he has to take points from West Germany to cool anything. so that would actually not be a bad thing for me. Voice can kick me out of Nigeria, and thanks to the fact that I didn't get access anywhere in the South America, that's basically the only one. He can take me out from Libya or something, but okay. He gives me flower power, which he withdrew, which is a pretty decent choice for him. I'm surely giving him Marshall. I think I'm giving him Marshall right now, and I'm immediately trying to coup Brazil. I dislike this a lot. I don't want to play Marshall like that immediately. It just fixes his problems in Europe. It fixes West Germany. It overprotects UK, which means that now special is not easily manageable. But I need a coup in Brazil with a 4, and I need it right now. So I guess I will just sacrifice everything to do that. And let's see what he comes up with. Now Cuba and Libya are up for grabs, of course. Nigeria is up for grabs. Uh, he only has missile envy to manage it, so let's see what he chooses. Okay, he goes for that, so I will just respond by grabbing Libya and Cuba. I would gladly take Syria, but unfortunately I don't even have a playable free up, so I guess I will have to be satisfied with that. Yeah. And he got arms race as well. Yeah, that's a pretty obvious ABM into Venezuela now to counter any realignment ideas. Okay, those two good rolls actually made my situation in South America look pretty stable. So unless he gets another brush war and wins it again in Venezuela, I think I will stay in that region for a while. So that's decent. It really hurts me that I didn't go Africa, but I didn't have much choice in that regard, I believe. It had to be either that or South America, and I think South America was a necessary choice. Okay, the vectors makes sense. Let's take Syria to dominate Middle East and equalize Africa. I expect him to do something in Africa now. He might have Central America scoring. It kind of looks like it's possible. UN with OPEC, so I don't even get that points. Okay. After he did that, it kinda looks like a good moment to give him puppets. Like he still has Saudi Arabia, unfortunately, so he will go for Saudi Arabia, Haiti, and Dominican Republic, or Ethiopia, or something like that, or other Zimbabwe, Colombia, maybe. I think it's Saudi Arabia, Haiti, and something else. Yeah, Zimbabwe, sure. And now I'll put Haiti. That's literally the only role which doesn't grant me equal odds while realigning. So, well, yeah, not much to be done with it. If he wants to realign me, he will. Yeah, he didn't need much. Uh, Sure, not much I can do with it. I will just space special because I'm not going to be able to get rid of it in any other way. And he gets Quagmire once more. Alright, I could give him Jump Ball now, but I think it's better to give him OAS now. Because OAS is impossible to get rid of, especially after he got Brezhnev. So I will use the fact that my South American battlegrounds are overprotected and I don't even have anything left in Central America to what just happened. So it's not as harmless now. Really? Alright. So okay, I guess South Africa will share the fate of Cuba soon. That's it. I guess it's a decent hand. Aldrich Games looks promising, and the defectors are gone. So let's go for Aldrich Games and let's see clearly what's happening in this during this turn. If he doesn't roll like crazy, tear down this fold doesn't really look very useful for him. He can just lower Defcon uh, to not allow me to coup anything. But other than that, it's you're running at 0 modifier. I don't think that's good for. Like, no, you're not supposed to win that. Jesus Christ. Fortunately. Okay, what do you have? Holy. Alright. Okay, so he got Purge and War Games, which is pretty insane. He got NORAD, which is great. He got IP War, which I hope he fails, because then it will just cost him VPs. He got Will Bury You, which he has to space. He got Gunman, which is problematic for him, but it doesn't kill him. And that's a problem that I need to solve. He got Solidarity, which isn't a problem yet. I just need to wait for him to play it, so then Top is playable. And he got Deco, which I will get, which is good for me. It's definitely a good thing. Alright, so I'm just getting rid of a 4-up. He's not gonna get to Wargames territory, so I'm just killing the Purge with it. And I'm taking my chance to coup. And I think it's pretty obvious that I need to go for Nigeria. Unless Nigeria is obvious. Okay. Unfortunately, I don't have terrorism, I don't have cultural, so he's just gonna space will bury you, play China, and hold the gunman. So I didn't achieve victory through DEFCON, and I'm not going to achieve it this time. But at least it's gonna create some problems for him, I believe. Okay, that's a smart play, that's a good play by him, it's reasonable. He's immediately getting rid of a China card. I don't know if he's doing it purposefully and thoughtfully, or just accidentally stumbled onto the right play, but that's definitely the way to go. I will just try to respond with North Sea Oil, since I know for a fact that this card doesn't give him anything. Like, the ability to play 8 turns to play 8 actions this turn is definitely not something he wants to use. And the OPEC is gone. Okay, so he goes for War Games and he establishes a domination in Europe. I can respond immediately with Reformer. I'm not sure if I want to do that though. Like, I can just use it later during the turn to break something. And he will be playing Solidarity sooner or later, so I can play John Paul later. So I think I can space our men in Tehran. Okay. I wonder if he's gonna try realigning me from South Africa, but I have South African unrest to return there, and I'm going to get decall. So I think fight for Europe, for Africa is only beginning. I will probably try to hold on to 5-year plan, because if I draw Central, I will be in a dire need of discarding it. Okay, so now John Paul is more or less playable. That's a pretty good roll, my dude. I hope I will get a similar one in Zimbabwe. Okay, it was not much worse. So we both got our Millops. I'm not sure why he doesn't space yet, but following this pattern he will probably play Norador in the Pakistani war now, because I don't know why he decided to coup Tunisia instead of just going to space, but that's fine. Okay, he overprotects that, that's annoying. Theoretically I have more battlegrounds in Africa than him, so I can play that game. I'm not out of good coup targets in Africa. And he's slowly running out of gas, so he will need to start, managing his hand. So he did that. Now I guess I can create some chaos. With Reformer. Aldrich Games was such a huge card for me this turn. It was enormous. Okay, he plays that for influence, which means that I get to eat up VPs from it. And I'm going to get decall. So I think I could actually go for something like that to set up a coup next turn in Angola. I know I could also go for Greece or East Germany, but I think I get more value from eventing it. There's just no reason to do that. You should have let me resolve decall before he gave it to me. There's just no good reason to do otherwise. I don't really understand it. Okay, that's not enough. So let's... Wait. I can do something like that though, right? Let's do it. There's always a chance that I will get to have some uh, chances in Asia. Alright. Uh, actually, ooh, Latin American Death Squads looks like such a good card here. Okay. I think I kind of like what I'm seeing here. Let's go for Junta. Looks reasonable. And it doesn't really sell out my hand. So, of course, Latin American debt crisis. Jesus. I'm not sure if I misspoke earlier, but what I meant, of course, was Latin American debt crisis. Is a card that may come in useful this turn, due to the fact that he can't really discard anything because he's holding Gunman. Okay, I think I will do something like that. I really need to get... No, I think I should do something like that. Okay. Now I hope he will choose the path of taking Argentina instead of realigning me out of there. Now, of course, this kind of destroys the concept of me getting Asian domination, and it also makes Korean War less harmful for him, like in one case out of 6. But I really needed to get a battleground in Central America, so Panama works wonderfully. Alright, he takes Argentina, I suppose. Okay, so now I can actually take back and take Cuba again, so I actually flipped Central to my domination. Okay. That hurts. France doesn't look like it's going anywhere, so I don't think I'm that scared of him controlling Europe. So I will just retake Poland casually. Really? Asia? Whoa, what are you doing, buddy? I have this also. I'm not really sure if that's gonna work for him. Okay, I'm discarding. Okay, I can't play the China card, unfortunately, so I will stick to playing Summit. Let's go Guatemala. Now, if he tries something silly in Asia, I will just respond with this though. Then I will event Latin American Death Crisis. Mm. Alright. Okay, I don't have more European invents, so I guess I can just take those points and put one into India. Perhaps another one into India. One into Poland and one into Saudi Arabia. Let's go for that. Okay. So I'm pretty sure he has Asia scoring, so he'll probably drop it now. Unless he has a 4-up in his pocket and he is willing to spend it to double break something in Asia. In which case it's still absolutely worth it for me to have played that pistol. Okay, he has Asia. So now let's go with the Death Crisis. Sadat is gone, so breaking Egypt could be a decent play, especially after that. Alright, I guess I will just set up a domination. Of course, he can realign me now, but well. Of course, realignments can always fail, so this way I am at least forcing him to take some risks. Nice. Oh, he gets central, that's so good. Oh, yes. Alright. Muslim Island Lady. Rush or so. Okay. Those are all very good cards. I will just start with J, I think. Or I can actually go for Allende. Let's go for Allende. Okay, I think this hand should seal this game, actually. It shouldn't be possible for him to come back from what's gonna happen. There's no way he gets Europe control, there's no way for me to die by Defcon, and final scoring looks incredibly well now. I guess the best he could do now is headline Soviets. Okay, so what do you steal? Okay, that's probably the best card he could have hit. No, wait, that's let's be clear. That's literally the best card he could have hit. It's like perfect. Mm. Okay. Uh, I'm gonna just go and take what I can with force. I don't think I have any better option. Of course, I could have used the Iron Lady. Wait, what is that? Crane size again. Okay. Chef. Okay, that's fine actually. That's yeah, that's a good choice. It's not as good as South America, but still good for me. But he got try. And thanks to China, I still have enough enough cards to fill my action rounds. Uh, Theoretically, to get the most value, I should start with a one stability country, but I want to coup both Uruguay and Botswana, so let's go for it. Okay. And let's get rid of the scoring, right? Yeah. Okay, he hits that. Let's event it. My best brush target is probably going to be Italy. Oh no, I can't focus. I can't choose Italy because of NATO. So I guess it's going to be Mexico? Egypt? No, Egypt sounds bad. Thailand sounds bad. It's probably Mexico then. Yeah, it's probably Mexico. The gold doesn't matter. Wait, what? Alright, so he surely has Middle East scoring. Uh, that's okay. I will let him. Yeah, I will let him. Well, let's do something like that. So that now he can't really take Israel. The fact that he left Angola unattended is pretty much a proof, a pretty conclusive one, that he has Middle East scoring. So I'm not okay. So now I will actually go for Egypt. Okay, that didn't work. Mm, Not that it matters now. I mean, of course, I don't even know. Maybe the best play was to just grab Israel with Brush War, but it doesn't really matter that much. And this is how our game concludes. After I think the turning point of this game was this turn when he evented Ask Not and discarded my access cards and then just went on to dropping Middle East into like Middle East was for free. Then he evented Bear Trap, which I just it didn't achieve anything. Then he gave me 4 VPs from Africa scoring, and he also got a useless 12. So that was not a very impressive, not an impressive discard with Kennedy. And after that, it went pretty much downhill. Uh, Also, it didn't help that I got Ames. Ames made made it so much easier for me to play in the late war, because he got a monstrous hand on turn 8 and Ames pretty much, well, countered it all. It made North Sea Oil clearly playable, without a doubt. It discarded Purge, it made Lone Gunman a serious threat, which basically gave me deco. So yeah, that was an insanely strong card in this game for me. Well, I'm glad I was able to win this game. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Maybe finally breaking the 1900 number. Not for the first time, but for the first time since a pretty long time for me. I will see you.